everyone, I'm Brandy Williams and welcome to Cash Poker from Binion's Gambling Hall and Hotel in Las Vegas. Tonight, 25 top poker players go head-to-head with almost $2 million in cold hard cash. This is no tournament play, this is Cash Poker, where the stakes and the payouts are real. The action is going to get fierce. Let's get to it.
Thank you, Brandy. We are making television history here tonight. We've got 3 high-stakes cash games going on at the same time. You won't see that anywhere else. Now let's take a look at tonight's featured table. In seat number 9, Robert Williamson with $25,000. Seat number 8 houses Chad Brown, also with $25,000. Terry Myers is in seat number 7 with $25,000. Seat number 6, Bruce Parker with $26,000. In seat number 5, the Texas Dolly Doyle Brunson with $50,000. In seat number 4, Bob Bright with $60,000. Barry Greenstein in seat number 3 with $50,000. Gabriel Thaler with $50,000 is in seat number 2. And in seat number 1, Stuart Hosen with $25,000. It is great to be here at the fabulous Binion's Gambling Hall and Hotel. My name is Brian Malika, and you are watching the debut of Cash Poker. We have an all-star cast of players ready to get the action going, including Gabriel Thaler, who's first to act. He will fold with a 9-5, as does Barry Greenstein.
Great.
Bob looking down at pocket deuces. He'll bump it up to 500.
That's 500, right?
Yes, sir.
Doyle Brunson just double checking as he will make the call with Jack 10. Bruce, Terry, Chad all folding. Here comes the flop, and Doyle has flopped top 2 pair Jacks and 10s.
800.
Bob, however, is the one who's going to lead the betting with 800, still with just the deuces. Doyle never one to rush into anything.
2,800.
We'll make it 2,800 to go. That should be enough to scare Bob out of this pot, but you never know.
Doyle, you can have the first 10. Thank you.
And graciously bows out of the competition. Who better to win the first ever hand at Cash Poker than Texas Dolly himself, the legend Doyle Brunson. Barry Greenstein to start things off. He's going to fold his 9-7 offsuit. Bob following suit with Queen 8, as does Doyle with Queen Deuce suited.
600.
Bruce is going to get the pot started. King 6 suited in clubs. He's going to bump it up to 600. Terry folding Ace 5, but not Chad, who calls with his Ace 5, although his are suited. Robert, Stuart, and Gabriel all fold, and we are heads up going into the flop.
To the finest. I should probably check blind, but I'm not going to.
Bruce probably wishing he had checked blind, as both players missed this. Chad's Ace High still good. And he will bet it accordingly.
Thank you.
And Bruce is going to get out of the way.
Take it down. Doyle looking down at pocket 9s. He's just going to call under the gun.
What he was going to show Joe Hashem. He's going to edge him completely out of the thing, and now he won it.
How's he going to do now?
Because he's one of the guys that stood, yeah.
That is kind of comical.
Everyone seemingly getting involved in this pot. Gabriel is on the button with Jack Queen suited.
I'm going to raise it.
And he's going to make a play. With all that money in the pot, he wants to get some of these players out.
You won the turn without the Bellagio.
Big one?
Yeah, 2.1 million.
Doyle will call.
Couldn't stand one,
All right, I get it.
As does Chad Brown.
You don't want to use your likeness, so we're going to try to make sure we use as little as possible. That's what you should say. That goes already exactly those rules.
Robert and Stuart both get out of the way, so Gabriel able to chase a few players away as we head into the flop. Gabriel flops top pair with his queens. Doyle first to act with his nines. He's going to check them, as does Chad Brown right behind him. Gabriel will continue to bet, 2,500 this time. Doyle with a little smile on his face, a knowing smile as he folds his pocket nines.
How much is the bet?
2,500.
2,500?
Chad, who has middle pair, looks like he wants to play this hand. And he's going to make the call. No help on the turn, as Chad will check. I think Gabriel smells blood. He's reaching for chips. 6,000 to go now.
Bet.
Chad only with fives, and he's going to get rid of them. Aggressive play by Gabriel as he takes down the pot.
With over $2 million at play, you don't want to miss this. Stay with us.
There is a lot of excitement in the air here at Binion's Gambling Hall and Casino as nearly $2 million is in play tonight. Action folds around to Bob, who looks down at an ace-deuce offsuit. He's going to bump it up to 600.
Oh.
An immediate call from Bruce, and we're heads up. Bruce gets queens. Bob completely missed the flop, but he's going to bet out anyway, 700 to open. Bruce electing not to raise with his pair, just calls.
$3,000. On that, I would have called.
Bruce, raise him. I mean, come on.
It's a bad turn card.
Yeah, you put your foot in the water, you better be ready to run.
Yep.
Queen 7 for Stewart, he folds. Ace King for Bob, reaching for chips. 600 to go. And a quick call from Doyle with 8-6 offsuit.
Only. I got the button, but I ain't got no cards.
Both players missed the flop. The Ace King is in the lead.
Right. 3/4 of it. 2/3 of it. 15.
A little bit of help there for Doyle as he picks up a gut shot straight draw.
Here. Put it there.
He'll open the betting again. Only $1,000.
What is that?
You bet the wrong chip.
I think he meant to bet
bet the
more.
wrong chip.
Yeah, he grabbed the wrong chip. Oh, Bob's going to call. His ace still good. Jack of clubs on the river. Bob has won this hand. The only way he can lose is by folding. Doyle has bet into this pot every step of the way.
$68.
And he makes it 6,800 to go. A tough call for Bob, but if he does call, he has won this pot. Not an easy play for Bob by any means.
I'd raise
But he decides to raise, doesn't call, comes over the top.
10,000.
10,000 back to Doyle Brunson.
You're getting a nice round applause this time.
Sly look from Texas Dolly there. He's put a lot of money into this pot, but he has nothing. And he has to muck his cards.
The chips are flying here at Binion's Gambling Hall and Hotel, so stay with us because we have more poker action coming up.
If you're going to be in a big-time cash game, there's no better place to be than right here at legendary Binion's. Let's go down to Serinda for a cash poker player interview.
Hi, Doyle. This is Serinda. Very nice to meet you. Is it an aggressive table? Is it sort of more of a weak table? What's going on the table?
Some pretty good players there. I haven't had one card. I'm going home and going to bed.
Now, do you prefer cash games or tournaments?
Oh, cash games, definitely. Yeah.
And where can we catch you next? What's your next event you're going to be in?
Probably the Commerce in Los Angeles. Maybe I think there's a tournament in Tunica also in January. I'll probably be there.
Well, thank you so much. We'll check back with you later, and good luck at the tables.
Thank you very much, Serinda. Now let's get back to the action.
If I don't now, I won't win.
Just hope you make my age.
I'll tell you what, Doyle, what you did at the horse tournament was amazing for any age.
Doyle will be first to act this hand.
That was a lot of hours. Five.
Bob is going to call Chad's raise from the big blind with King 6. Bob likes to play with fire. First he goes heads up against the legend Doyle Brunson, and now against Chad Brown, Bluff Magazine's 2006 Player of the Year. Both players check. No help for either player on the turn, as they both check again. That ace on the river has sealed the hand for Chad.
Check.
Bob continues to check. Chad will put out a $500 bet, and that should be enough to get Bob out of this hand.
I didn't catch.
And indeed it is. If you're joining us late, welcome. My name is Brian Malika, and you are watching the debut of Cash Poker. Terry is going to get things started. Ace 10 under the gun.
All right. Let's play for 800.
And he is going to raise it up to $800.
Say about that episode.
Oh, shocking.
I never have seen it. I hear about it. First time you play?
Gabriel calling with his suited connectors. Bob makes the call from the button with pocket fives. Doyle and Bruce, the blinds, get out of the way.
The replay.
Terry takes the lead in the hand after the flop with middle pair, tens with an ace kicker.
Same bet.
Gabriel with a flush draw. Terry leads out $800. That'll get a call from Gabe. And Bob, once again, hoping to hit a set, will make the call from the button. Don't look now, already $5,000 in the pot. And I expect that there'll be more very soon, as that ace of diamonds on the turn gives Terry two pair and Gabriel the flush. Terry reaching for chips.
15.
$1,500, not that much money into a very large pot.
I raise it.
And an immediate raise to Gabriel, who makes it $3,000 to go. Bob finally decides, you know what, maybe I'll get trips on the next hand. He folds.
This is 3,000.
Terry has to be concerned with the flush draw, but with two pair, it's going to be hard to lay down. And he makes the call. And a miracle card for Terry on the river. That 10 gives him a full house, and now it's Gabriel who's going to have a hard time getting away from this hand.
8,000.
$8,000 into the pot by Terry. Gabriel's trying to put Terry on a hand. If you remember, for the past several hands, the table has just been full of banter. Now you could hear a pin drop.
You have pocket jack, sir?
I wish I had pocket jack.
You wish you had pocket jacks.
Yeah, I'd feel a lot better.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're the one with pocket jacks, yeah. I see.
Sir, I generally don't Hollywood. If I had pocket jacks, I'd have moved me by now. $8,000, huh? Never played with you before in my life. You really made a full house, huh?
Gabriel almost seems to be trying to talk himself out of making the call here. His instincts are right. Let's see if he trusts them.
God, I don't want to throw my hand away. I know I'm supposed to. Full house?
Yeah.
He does make the call and gets the bad news.
Yeah, the flush, yeah.
Over $27,000 in that pot for Terry. A huge, huge takedown.
Closed captioning provided by.
This is a big event. This is actually something that's, I mean, minimum $25,000 buy-in. Is this a regular occurrence for you, or is this something a special event?
No, I don't usually play a big game. Just usually play tournaments, but I thought this would be a good time to see how we can play a big game.
And do you prefer cash games or tournament games?
I like them both. I like them both. Tournaments, you either in the money, you're out, and sometimes cash, you can walk away a little bit sometimes.
How can you not love high-stakes cash poker? The two biggest pots of the night have been won by amateurs, first Bob Bright and now Terry Myers. Let's see if these pros can start pulling their weight around here. Ace 10, not a bad hand under the gun for Robert, but a bad position. He's going to fold. Stewart, who's been very quiet, makes the call with king jack suited.
Got a raise, 750.
Barry with pocket sevens raises it up.
I think it's getting warm up here today.
Call.
Call 750.
I was going to say, I'm going to go put on my wife beater shirt in a minute.
Apparently, Terry feels a little overdressed for the table.
And a call.
Yippee-yi-yi, baby.
4 players are going into this flop.
You're not losing yet, Doyle. It ain't over.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I read his book.
Barry still with the best hand, pocket sevens. He also has an open-ended straight draw, as does Chad Brown with his 5-3.
1,500.
Yeah, because baseball, they didn't know.
I fold.
Call 15. You said fold.
Fold.
Price is right for Chad to call here. Open-ended straight draw and a pair of 5s. Considering the cards on the board, it's very difficult for Chad to put Barry on such a strong hand. And that 8 on the turn gives Barry the straight. Chad still has to love his hand. He has a ton of outs. Now he has a flush draw in addition to a straight draw, and Barry will lead with a $2,500 bet.
2,500.
Chris.
Chad Brown comes firing back. $5,000 to go now.
5,000.
Barry already with a made straight. I would expect at least a call out of him. And he makes the call. The river is a blank for Chad. The only way he can win is if he somehow gets Barry to fold his hand, which I have a feeling won't be happening.
Yeah, but
I just can't reach up. And they told me to stop. That was all.
I don't think so.
it's over when the market opens.
Years you got here, Chad.
A $15,000 bet from Barry.
Yeah.
Chad seems to be thinking about this. He might think his 5s are good here, but he would have to call a pot-sized bet from Barry to find out. Chad finally makes the right read and lays his hand down.
Would you play the 7-9? Would you play the 7-9?
Bob's going to get things started here for us. 6 deuce of hearts. He's going to get rid of him. Ace queen suited for Doyle, who bumps it up to 5.
You guys got sun lotion back there? For this tan I'm getting?
Stewart calls from the button, Barry from the big blind, and we are going 4-handed into the flop. And Doyle hits his ace on the flop. He is now in control of this hand. Never one to be shy, a $2,000 bet from Doyle. Bruce can't like the side of that ace, yet makes the call. Barry on a gut shot straight draw here. Really seems to be thinking about it. Finally lays it down, and we are going heads up into the turn. Blank on the turn. Doyle's ace is still good. If Bruce sticks around, only a queen will win this pot for him. $2,500 is the price he's going to have to call, and he's not getting involved.
How much you bet there, Doyle?
25.
2,500.
Bruce will be first to act, and he elects to straddle here, which is a raise before the cards are even dealt. Very interesting, considering how passively he played his high pocket pair last hand. Now he's being very aggressive, and he doesn't even know what 2 cards he's going to get.
800.
Raise it, make it 8.
And just a call from Stewart with pocket kings. Stewart, of course, our internet qualifier.
I raise it.
And Gabriel comes over the top 3,200, trying to get some of these players out of the pot.
It was only 800, Gabe.
I'm sorry?
It was only 800, Gabe. Okay, you heard. Just making sure you heard.
Bob and Doyle both fold from the blinds.
It was only 800.
Bruce, who had straddled, picked up 7 deuce. He had to get rid of it.
Wrong color chips.
Again.
Oh, you got me out of position again here. But
Well, you solved that problem last time.
The old-fashioned way.
Caught cards.
Terry will make the call.
I'm all in. All in.
And Stewart, who hasn't played many hands tonight, pushes all of his chips in. It takes him a little bit, but he gets them all in there.
You're the internet player.
I think this is what I'm supposed to say. Excuse me.
What are you doing?
I'm throwing my hand away. Is that right?
Oh, those are right.
He's all in.
see what kind of deal you opened the door on us?
I do see that.
Now you see what you did?
I would love to replay it, sir.
Well, I'll just chew on these.
It might come out a little different.
I tried to tell you it was only 800 to you.
Oh, we had a little flop, and I was going to come right over the top. That's the old pocket.
There's plenty more hot poker action coming up, so don't go anywhere.
We've got 25 players here at Binion's tonight. From legendary pros to hungry amateurs, they're all trying to take each other's bankrolls.
And he ended up winning the thing.
Gabriel's going to get things started. Jack 9 suited under the gun.
All day that day.
And he's going to limp in. Barry, we just saw, picked up pocket rockets and elects just to call with his aces. He is in early position. Maybe he's hoping someone down the line will come over the top with a raise. Call from Doyle with pocket 8s.
I'm not going to open the door.
Option check. We got 7 players.
This is a bad situation for Barry. He's got the best possible starting hand, but with 7 people in this pot, he could be way behind after this flop. He dodges a bullet as his aces are still good, but he can't feel very confident about it with all these players in.
Bet at 500.
He will lead with a $500 bet, trying to get a little bit of information from the rest of the table. Doyle makes the call with his 8s.
Oh.
As does Terry with the deuces. Chad, who flopped top pair, is reaching for chips. He'll make the call. Robert doesn't want to join the party, got no part of this. Has to get out of the way.
500? 500.
And Stewart, with an open-ended straight draw, will make the call as well. Generally with aces, you really want to try to isolate only one player. This is a nightmare for Barry. With 5 players in at the turn, any card can potentially crack Barry's aces. Nobody gets there miraculously on the turn. Barry will lead again, $2,000 this time, trying to chase anybody away from this pot.
All 2,000.
Doyle makes the call. Terry finally getting rid of his deuces. Chad still with a pair of 7s. I doubt the 10 scared him too much. And he is getting the right price to call here. And call is exactly what he does. Barry looking sick over there. And with that call, there's now over $10,000 in this pot. 5 of diamonds on the river. Barry's aces hold up. He can only lose by folding. He will lead once again, 2,500 this time.
What do you think? You bet more?
He was hoping to bet less.
Not a huge bet into a pot this size. He probably just doesn't know where he stands. Doyle's going to make the call. And Chad, who flopped top pair, is actually in 3rd place here, but he still has to consider a call.
Call.
And he does.
Do we get to see the cards?
Barry's going to flip over his cards, and I bet no one expected to see pocket aces there.
I folded the best hand. No. Queen 5. I probably wouldn't have seen it.
And a $17,000 pot now being pushed to Barry.
So that's how you play aces.
Not really. That was. I don't like playing them on that flop against 6 people. But.
Yeah, we could tell. We could tell you didn't like playing them.
But the only thing is, it looked like everyone had a little piece.
Yeah.
I'd much rather played with 3 callers than just 1 caller. Yeah, the deuce 3.
What's the best hand so far?
I had aces, and I probably made a bad decision. Gabe Thaler opened for the minimum, 150, and I only called. I didn't raise. Probably the wrong decision. And then 4 or 5 other people came in. So I put myself in a pretty bad position. Then a 4, 5, 7 came out that could easily hit anyone. Could have made 2 pair, could have made straight. And I bet it through and somehow got 2 calls all the way and still won. But yeah, so it was a nice pot, but I probably should have raised instead of letting all those people in.
Do you want to be a part of the action? Well, check out UltimatePokerChallenge.com for details on live cash poker from Binion's Gambling Hall and Hotel.
Thanks a lot, Brandy. Blinds are still at $75 and $150 with a $25 ante. Unlike in tournament poker, the blinds and antes here at cash poker will remain the same for the duration of the event. Barry's going to get things started with a fold of his 6-4 offsuit. Bob looking down at pocket 6s. You know Bob loves his pocket pairs.
Yeah, that's true.
He'll raise it up to 600.
I call. The hell, I'm just a calling station.
It just damn near drags you in anyhow, doesn't it?
Chad and Robert both getting involved, and we've got 5 players heading into this flop.
Yeah. I got 2 cards
We
to
have
call
5 players in.
Bruce flops a pair of 8s. Robert's 9s are still in the lead, however.
Check it in. 2,500.
Bruce will open for 2,500. That'll be enough to chase Terry and Chad out of the hand.
I got kind of a deep stack.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Probably got the most.
All right, girls, I'm Doyle.
Robert just calls with the overpair.
Does that help?
Terry doing a little bit of name dropping, trying to get a date. Not involved in the hand, however. Bob, looking at those 6s, he hasn't had a lot of luck with his pocket pairs up to this point. This would be a very loose call if he decides to make it. No, but why not? We're in Vegas. This is Binion's. He does make the call, hoping to finally connect on that elusive
I got
set.
what I asked for.
Jack on the turn.
5,000.
Robert's 9 still good. A $5,000 bet from Bruce. Robert putting some time in, wondering if his nines are still good. Glancing at Bruce out of the corner of his eye, hoping to pick up something. And he does make the call. Bob finally getting away from his pocket pair. And we're heads up to the river. And it's a 6. Bob finally would have hit his set, but he folded. That's a lesson. Play every hand to the river, kids. Bruce fires once again, $6,800. If Robert calls, he's a winner. Of course, that's easier said than done.
Well, I know how bad you want me to call, it seems like. Huh? Well, I think keeping me from calling is how bad you want me to call. 6,800. It is so cheap. Well, when I called the 5, I made my first mistake, and then now I got to follow it up with this mistake.
And a call.
Okay. That's the pair I was hoping for.
Nines.
Okay. Thank you.
A $33,000 pot for Robert, who makes the right read, makes the right call, and is rewarded.
That's what I put him on originally until he bet the 5,000. I said, might have made a mistake here. Better reevaluate.
Now you're on a flush draw.
We are making television history here tonight. We've got 3 high-stakes cash games going on at the same time. You won't see that anywhere else. Let's check in with Serinda for a player interview.
Hand by hand. So we got a weird table. First, it didn't play any hands. Now they're playing a lot of hands, but a lot of limp pots. So gambling going on over here now, finally.
So are you plus, minus, around the same?
I'm up, I don't know, 25, 30.
Oh, that's pretty good. Now, did you have any big hands? Did you double up, or did you just kind of chip away at it?
Two, 3 pretty good sized pots, no really gigantic ones. Just kind of chipped away at it.
Thank you very much, Serinda. Now let's get back to the action.
He's drawn live.
You see my head?
Here I am under the gun again. Let me get out of this
In my dreams,
crap.
I'm always first.
Chad makes the call with ace-jack.
In my poker dreams, I'm always first. I'm never in the back.
Bob with 6 deuce of spades, and he's going to make the call from the button.
To act. I'm always first. I'm always looking up at him. You know?
Doyle's in the small blind.
Here it is.
I'm not sure if he looked at his hands. We didn't see it. I assume he did, but who knows? He's Doyle Brunson. Maybe he just knows. He's going to make it $1,100 to go. That will get a call from Bruce in the big blind with ace-7 suited. And Chad gets away from his ace-jack. We will go 3-handed into this flop.
Right, yeah.
Doyle's going to be first to act. Again, no one, including us, knows what he has. But he's going to bet it. 3,000.
Oh, sorry.
Both players fold, and who knows? He might have bluffed, he might have had the best hand, but he won the pot, and that's all that matters. And fittingly, Doyle Brunson has won the first and last hand of this premiere episode of Cash Poker. Next week on Cash Poker, watch top pros Max Pescatori, Mike Matusow, Todd Brunson, Vanessa Russo, and cash game specialist Kenny Tran as they square off for big money. Will Mike the Mouth be able to keep us cool? Tune in to find out.
Well, we started the night with almost $2 million and 25 players. So come back next week to see who gets closer to the pot. From Binion's Gambling Hall and Hotel, I'm Brandy Williams, and I'll see you then. Good night.